891 Mornings with Ali.
Online and on mobile.
891 ABC Adelaide.
Why men especially do you think become socially isolated after the breakdown of a relationship?
Look, any relationship is traumatic for anybody that's involved in it. However, traditionally, women have women have friendship groups. They have strong girlfriends that support them. Guys tend to not have that same structure. They don't have the same conversations with their mates. And during a relationship, traditionally the woman runs the social life. It's the woman that's got the phone numbers. You're nodding your head. That's clearly going on in your relationship. You're the one that's organising who's catching up when. And so when the relationship ends, I'll often have guys come to me and say, I don't even have a single phone number of any of my friends.
Really? So
because the girls are doing it all.
When a relationship breaks down, however it might happen, your confidence can also take a hit. So I would imagine that would also turn people inward.
It does, absolutely. And that is for both men and women. But as I said, the women have got the support network. Because the men don't, they're kind of left to stumble through this by themselves. And this is what I'm really passionate about talking about this topic, because what I'm clearly seeing is the number of men that are becoming socially isolated as a result of the separation. They actually don't have the support network. They're moving into anxiety very quickly. And from that, of course, that moves into potentially depression, which can, of course, potentially lead to suicide. So it's a really traumatic situation that we're seeing ourselves in, and society is not supporting and not structured to support men in this way.
Okay, so where do you start? What are some of the ways that you can start stepping out?
Okay, for the guys, I think the first thing is to recognise they're not alone, that there are literally thousands of men that are going through this right now, today, and that they too will survive this, that many men have been through it and will survive it. So knowing you're not alone, I think, is kind of comforting. The second thing to really know is to give yourself permission to start to socialise. So what tends to be happening at the moment is people think, I'm lonely. And they go, well, what do I do about that? Or they go online to start meeting ladies. Nothing wrong with that, except they're not ready for a relationship. They're not ready to date. What they're ready for is company. And they're actually incredibly emotionally vulnerable. And so often that becomes a very dangerous scenario where they will be vulnerable to the first person that comes along that makes them feel loved, valued.
So that's that whole rebound thing.
It is the rebound.
They've made 1,000 movies about it,
Yes,
right?
they have. And it's a fact. I call it the cleansing relationship, though, because it does serve a purpose. It does help you to move on from your ex-partner. It does usually make yourself feel good. But the challenge is that the person that you will normally have the rebound relationship with is the perceived complete opposite of your ex-partner.
Right.
And so it's normally a train wreck waiting to happen.
Okay.
And the last thing that I think somebody that's recovering from a marriage or a long-term relationship ending, the last thing that they need is to be having another relationship end very quickly.
Ryan has texted, all my friends are couples. It's really hard socialising in this situation.
Yeah, that's in my top 2 or 3 things that I hear.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's so important that people get out and join something. Well, I love my Social 8, which is a singles club for people, but that's actually what they've got to look at doing, is joining singles events. Now, there's meetups as well, which is a free service that there's loads out there. It just depends. You've got to find where it is you feel most comfortable socialising. And this is crucial, because a man that is feeling lonely, socially isolated, a little bit anxious about meeting people, he's got low self-worth from the relationship ending, it is crucial that he has a good first social experience.
Yeah, see, and because I'm listening to you thinking, okay, yep, well, I've got to go out and meet people, I've got to go and do this, but man, the sweaty palms and the nervousness, and because you're thinking about that, you might be a little bit awkward.
Absolutely, totally awkward.
Yeah, and then that would probably stop you from having to go again.
That's right, so it becomes a perpetual cycle. And that's why I think it's so important. I love these events that I create, because these are like-minded people. They're all in the same boat. They get it. They support each other. It's just a breath of fresh air for them to walk in and feel like they're not going to get hit on because somebody wants to have a relationship or a one-night stand or any of that awkwardness that they are not ready for yet. But what they are is ready for company or fun. I do a lot of things that are around activities. Get out there, and whether it's, go for wine tasting or go to a festival and watch a heap of different bands or try different foods or go 10-pin bowling. It doesn't matter, but activities with people that are in a similar situation helps to restructure the support network that they desperately need to get in place.
If you're ready to step outside your comfort zone and really engage in having a connective, successful and fun social life, then head to my website, janedonovan.com.au, where I have links to all sorts of opportunities and resources just for singles. And most important of all, I really want you to remember, you are worthy.